Welcome friends, so make sure you will create a console program, clear everything out, just type in the basic code structure here. And now we're going to work with jagged arrays. So I'm going to type int bracket, call it R, assignment operator. So I will type the following, new int, and then initialize it with the values, say 1, 2, 3, comma, and then new int, and initialize it with the values 4, 5. And then terminate that with a semicolon. So remember, this is an array of arrays. And here's our goal. What we're going to do is print this. We're going to take the 1 multiplied by the 4, take the 1 multiplied by the 5. Then we want to take the 2 multiplied by the 4 to get an 8. The 2 times the 5 is a 10. And then take the 3 multiplied to the 4, get a 12. Take the 3 multiplied to the 5, get a 15. We want to be able to display those values on the screen, say, but each pair on its own line in the console window. We can say for int I is equal to 0. I'm going to basically use this to iterate through the entries of the first array. So remember, the first array with respect to array R, this array that I've highlighted is at index 0 in terms of the position inside array R. Okay, because R is an array of arrays. So each array has its own position within R. So I would say I is less than R of 0 dot length. That just says take the length, whatever that is of that array, and use that as the logical condition in the middle. And then I plus plus. Add a set of curly braces. The next one for int j is equal to 0. Again, then you're going to do the same thing with respect to the second array. So you're going to have j is less than r of 1, that length. This just says whatever the length is of that second array, that's r of 1. So you're going to use that to control where j goes in terms of its ultimate value. Remember, if it's 2, then this is going to go from 0 to 1, okay? Because the indexes are 0, 1, not 1, 2. And then you're going to have the following j plus plus. Now that we've done that, we've automatically detected where I and j have to go in terms of, for example, the ultimate values. What we need to do is somehow figure out how to multiply the values together. So we can say console.write. I'm going to use write so I can output each pair of 2 numbers on its own line. And then I'm going to say r of 0. So I'm hard coding that here, but it's okay. R of 0 will just be a reference to this first array. So r of 0 for that reason. R of 0. And then you need to iterate through the entries of r of 0. So that next index has to be a variable, I, like that. Because the I created in this loop here, remember, it's going to correspond to these entries. So when I is 0, it's 1. When I is 1, it's 2. When I is 2, this is going to be the entry 3. Okay, so r of 0 with the I, and then you're going to multiply by r of 1. So I'm hard coding basically like a reference to this array here, r of 1. And then you got to iterate through the entries of r of 1. So you need that other variable j right here. And then you can terminate with a semicolon this way. Okay, now lastly at the end, because I'm using write, if you run the code in this form, it'll just print everything on a single line. So to make it push down, I will type console.writeLine. You can always do that to push the cursor to the next line to stack your output vertically. Okay, so run that, start with that debugging, Control F5. And what we're getting is the following, right? 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15. Let's separate these though with some spaces so they don't look so smushed together like that. So just at the end here, say, let's do this, add a blank space between double quotes, a bit of text, strings, you know about those, I'm sure. So start with that debugging. All right, so look, right? 4 and 5, 8 and 10, 12 and 15, it's working as expected. Terminate. That's pretty much the code. You really should type and run this and then use the debug step into feature to execute it one line at a time, one bit of code at a time, at least once. I'll see you in another video.